morning. Can you hear me? Okay. Oh, I'm having a hot flash up here. All that walking. Welcome, come on in. Yeah, we've tried to get the volume up. It's as high as it's going to go. Can everyone hear me? Can you hear me in the back? No? Wow. Okay. Can you hear me in the back? Better? Okay. I'll just hold it. I'll just hold it. Like this. I'll just try and talk as loud as I can. Yeah. I guess I'm going to have to talk in my lecture voice in order for you to hear me. Can you hear me in the back? Just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Okay. All right. Welcome. Good morning. My name is Lisa Deitch, and you met me at your students' white coat ceremony. Seems like it was so long ago, but it really wasn't. Time has gone by so fast. And here we are at graduation already. It's amazing. So on behalf of the faculty, we want to welcome you to our honors program for the graduating class of 2021. Wow. It's been a long and sometimes difficult road for these students. It's not an easy program to complete on its own, and then you throw COVID into the mix last year, and, well, all bets were off. But I would say that this class has come through spectacularly well with the various setbacks that have been thrown at them. When our graduates come to Augusta University in particular, this institution, they made a choice. They made a choice to invest in themselves and in their future career. But to meet the demands of earning this degree, many have had to make sacrifices in multiple areas, multiple parts of their lives. And as a result, many of you, friends, family, spouses, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, grandparents, have also had to sacrifice. So we as the faculty, we want to thank you for all that you've done to help your loved one make it successfully through this program, even if it was just not making them feel bad for coming home for the weekend because they had to study. Like proud parents, we could not be more pleased that they are flying the nest, so to speak, and flying off to seek excellence in their chosen profession. The key to reaching the highest vitality of life is by exceeding the ordinary in every aspect of life. So for our graduates, I want to say, don't just seek power, but seek the riches of serving others. And you're in a great career if you want to serve other people. Don't just gain knowledge, but gain wisdom from what you've learned. And don't just practice medicine, although that's what we train you to do, but give people another chance at life. Don't dwell on old memories, but make new ones every day. And don't just leave this place with knowledge and a few friends, but use it as a basis to truly become a person who makes a difference with your life. That's what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to seeing you flourish and grow and become competent healthcare professionals that one day may be seeing me or any of our faculty or my children, someone that I would want to see. So with that, we're going to begin our program, and so I'm going to call up Dr. Judith Stallings.
Good morning, everyone. Would you please stand? Would you bow your heads? Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. We thank you for your holy presence this day as we give honor to the graduates of the class of 2021. It is our request that you would bless them and keep them, that your face may shine upon them and be gracious unto them. And lift up your countenance and give them peace. Also give them the grace to make a difference wherever you may lead them, instill in them wisdom, understanding, patience, love, peace, gentleness, and kindness for each and every man, woman, and child. In addition, let them all take pride in their profession as a physician assistant and help them to represent themselves, their families, their communities, and their home institution in a positive and professional way. Also, let them not forget all the medical knowledge and training they have received at Augusta University, and continue to place in them a strong desire to seek more medical knowledge and use them as instruments to heal the world. We thank you for their families and all of their loved ones who support them today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. You may be seated. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Judith Stallings. I'm chair and physician assistant here at Augusta University PA program. And it's an honor to stand here before all of you as you support your loved ones on this very special day. You know, they have worked hard for this day. They've dreamt about this day coming, and it's actually here. But they still have a few more rotations to complete before they're finally completed all the program requirements here at Augusta University. But we all remember the very first day they started on day one. They were so nervous about starting an education here at Augusta University. And I know none of them will forget anatomy during that first summer. None of them will forget. None of them will forget the physical examination course with the green sheet, and I'm sure all of you heard of the green sheet. And I'm sure all of you had one of your loved ones just have you just open your mouth and say, ah, so they can look at your uvula, or maybe listen to your breath sounds and do other physical examinations as they continue here at Augusta University. But soon, they will become one of our graduates here at Augusta University. Over more than 1,400 graduates from Augusta University. Our program was established in 1972, so we have a lot of graduates here. I'm alumni of this program, and almost all of the faculty are as well, so we take pride in education. Again, it gives me honor. These students have been working together in some very challenging times, and they've stood through the challenges and stood with us. And we appreciate all the patience, especially last year, and all the patience this year. They shared with us a new way of delivering education in a virtual format. Before last year, we really didn't know much about Microsoft Teams and teaching totally online with all our courses and trying to teach other physical examination virtually, but we did it. We made it happen with this group. So they've come a very long way, and I'm sure all of you have noticed some changes in them. And probably today when you sit with them at lunch, maybe your loved one should ask you, mom or dad, sister, brother, husband, have you noticed changes in me since I've become a student here at Augusta University? And I'm sure all of them will say yes. So they've been transformed. They've been very strong over all the challenges over these 24 years. I would say they've been very strong. And they have created a bond with their classmates, a very unique bond that's probably not comparable to any other bond. The students of this class or this group cohort will always remember each other, and they'll keep those connections even if they leave here at Augusta University. We want all of you, all the graduates, to do great things. We want you to do even greater things than we've done. We're very passionate about education here, and we strive hard to make sure we give you all the knowledge that we know so you can do well out there in the community. We want to ask you, after you graduate officially from Augusta University, to be involved. Be involved not only in your clinic, but also in the community, in the local hospitals, with different charities, helping applicants to become a physician assistant. So we want you to be involved. We also want you to be involved with this program. You'll always be a part of this family here at Augusta University. So we're going to call on you to help teach, to be a lecturer, to be a preceptor, perhaps come and help interview future students to our program. So we won't forget you. We'll be calling you up. The next challenge for you after you graduate is a national certification for physician assistants. That's the ultimate milestone, and all of you can do it. You study hard here, and as you prepare for your boards, we want you to remember and reflect back on Dr. Elam's course in pharmacology. I want you to think about the times in Ms. Deitch's course for hematology oncology with Ms. Coleman, with Ms. Haddo, Ms. Dexter, Ms. Fink, Ms. Redmond, and all the other faculty here at Augusta University. You can do well on your certification, and we know you will. In closing, the faculty here at Augusta University want to encourage all of you to reach your full potential as a physician assistant. Take pride in this profession. We all take pride in being a PA. I want to say that we're all proud of you, each and every one of you. You are ours, and we will always recognize you as our graduate. So this is your home. Augusta University is your home. Come back to support us here. Just remember that someone helped you, so reach out and help someone else. The last thing I want to say is that when you put on your white coat, always remember that as a symbol of this profession. You are a professional. And remember and take pride every time you put your white coat on as a physician assistant. So you've run the race well. And today we're going to partially give you a baton now to take the lead and run the race. In August, you can officially take the whole baton and run and be a leader as a physician assistant. So we're passing it over to you today. We want to say congratulations. We're very proud of you. You made it. Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to recognize the president of the class of 2021, Ms. Rachel Fair, as she gives a graduate address.
Is this better? Is there less of an echo this way? Okay. Hi. It's funny, Dr. Stallings was talking about how we've changed since we started, and I think Dr. Elam specifically in my class has only known me as type A, but my family only knows me as the 2-year-old who stuck a screwdriver in an outlet. So definitely there's been some change there. The last time I was up on a podium speaking to you, we were receiving our white coats. And oh my gosh, have we seen some stuff since then. Coronavirus, soon to arrive babies. I don't know where Brittany is, but we got some babies on the way and so many weddings, to name a few things. We have almost made it, and it's kind of an out-of-body experience. I don't know about y'all, but thinking back to myself as a senior in high school, blindly saying I wanted to go into medicine without any grasp of what that would turn into, and then to myself now, just months away from seeing my own patients. There has been exponential growth and multitudes of knowledge gained since what seems like yesterday, when I thought to myself, I like science, I guess I'll be a doctor. So, on the theme of growth, there are some things I want to touch on during my time with you this morning. I apologize if the speech seems short. I sound okay now, but I'm very hoarse from allergies and wanted to spare you from nails on a chalkboard, so I've cut quite a bit. But the main thing I wanted to make sure to comment on was how this pandemic has pushed us to grow as providers, and how we must keep growing when our time at Augusta University comes to an end. But before I begin, I wanted to take a moment to give a hand to our incredible faculty who have gone above and beyond this past year and a half to make sure we made it out in one piece. Clap. It wasn't pretty, but we are all still here. Now, I want to talk about what makes this class unique among PA students who came before us and the PA students who will come after. I personally know from experience that our class is composed of the most compassionate and intelligent people that I have ever had the privilege of working with. But what makes us unique is something that translates even to people who didn't share this experience with us. Our class learned how to be providers in the midst of a deadly pandemic. Since March of 2020, healthcare professionals around the world have become a symbol of hope and determination during this time of uncertainty. They are celebrated like superheroes and praised for going above and beyond their roles as healthcare providers, wearing the hats of many, including caretaker, friend, fierce advocate, and most importantly, family, during a time when the wonderful humans who would normally fill these roles weren't even allowed inside. We have often had to fill these same roles as students, whether it's being a hand to hold, a shoulder to cry on, or a voice of reason when things get overwhelming. Learning clinical medicine in a pandemic certainly did not cross my mind when I dreamed about clinical year during didactic. So when clinicals actually started, I thought, well, this is going to be annoying, having to wear the mask and try and breathe and not get hot. But being hot in the masks did not even come close to the obstacles that we faced. The pandemic brought an entirely new layer of complexity to our rotations, testing our ability to build meaningful relationships with our patients and colleagues, and to provide good care without the ability to get close with or even smile at our patients. We have had to learn to hone in on skills that can't be found in our books, because something like this has never happened in our lifetime. Alongside our preceptors, we have had to learn to be incredibly flexible and creative with our approach to patient visits, physical exams, and collaborating with other providers. We have had to reinvent and adapt the way we work with patients whose overall health has been really negatively impacted by this pandemic, especially through the integration of mental health into essentially every visit. We have been forced to have uncomfortable conversations with ourselves and our colleagues about the disparities in healthcare and how we as providers have a duty to our fellow humans to work to bridge this gap so that all of our patients are protected. Simply put, instead of going through our clinical rotations focused on learning how everything works, we are also getting a crash course on what doesn't work anymore, what never worked, and how to get creative and starting anew. Let this pandemic be an opening to change and transform the way we practice medicine and to play an active role in improving the system we operate in. I wanted to end with a quote that shares these sentiments from a fascinating Indian author. If you know him, he writes a bunch of articles. His name's Arundhati Roy, He wrote a piece on the impact of the coronavirus in India and on the healthcare system in general. He stated, "In the midst of this terrible despair, it offers us a chance to rethink the doomsday machine we have built for ourselves. Nothing could be worse than a return to normality. Historically, pandemics have forced humans to break with the past and imagine their world anew. This one is no different. It is a portal, a gateway between one world and the next. We can choose to walk through it, dragging the carcasses of our prejudice and hatred, our avarice, our databanks and dead ideas, our dead rivers and smoky skies behind us. Or we can walk through lightly, with little luggage, ready to imagine another world." When I was speaking at the white coat ceremony, I was so nervous because I felt like I didn't know everyone super well. In hindsight, we all barely knew each other at that point compared to what we know now. We've been through a lot together, which means we've seen the best and the worst of all of us. But in the end, we came out closer for it. I'm grateful to AU for bringing me to all of you and giving me the best 2.5 and also most stressful 2.5 years with people I have grown to love and cherish. I cannot wait to be colleagues with all of you. I hope I've made you as proud as you have made me. Congratulations to the class of 2021. It's been an honor learning alongside you.
I'm going to say that Rachel was an amazing class president. We've had, yeah, you can clap for her. Of course, it's a different class president every year. Some are better than others, but Rachel really was exemplary, and the class made the right choice when you chose her. So now we're going to start with our awards, and the first award we're going to start with is the Faculty Merit Award. So let me tell you what the award is, okay? This award was established by the faculty in 2005, and it was going to be and is granted annually to a graduating senior student who has performed well in the didactic, so that's the first 15 months of the program, the classroom portion, and then also the clinical year of training. And it's chosen by all of us, the faculty of the PA department. The eligibility requirements are: 1, outstanding clinical evaluations from preceptors during their clinical year. Check for this person. 2, exceptional verbal skills, communication skills. Check. Excellent interpersonal interaction with faculty, staff, and fellow students. Check. Potential for maintaining and achieving high professional and clinical goals. I'm going to say that's a check, check. And excellent academic standing with a minimum cumulative GPA of 3.5 or higher. This student has been a pleasure to teach. She always has a smile on her face. And before I go any further and read a few other things, I'm going to ask Courtney Weeks to come on down. So Courtney, if you will just come stand right over here while I talk about you and embarrass you. All right. So just so you know, I was the faculty member who evaluated your application in November 2018 to decide if she would be granted an interview or not. She was incredibly competitive on paper, having already received a Master's of Science in Dietetics 3 years before her application. And she impressed all 3 PA interviewers, and they wanted her as part of the class that we were crafting. And and so here she is. So I'm going to read you some preceptor comments that will give you a little bit more of an idea of what they saw in Courtney. From her psychiatry preceptor said, she exhibited strong professionalism, solid clinical judgment, excellent oral and written presentation skills. She is sharp, fun to work with, and a good team player. Her pediatric preceptor says, Courtney has really impressed me with her hard work and improvement in her presentations and documentation. She has a very amicable personality and gets along very well with kids. She's a real team player, always eager to learn. She has a lot of common sense and can easily manage common pediatric problems. I really enjoyed teaching her. That was a nice one. And her surgical preceptor said, in all caps, outstanding student, intelligent, interested, mature, well-prepared. Was a pleasure having Courtney as a student. So Courtney, we want to say congratulations. We have a plaque for you. So everyone, Courtney Weeks as the Faculty Merit Award.
Good morning. Good morning. Y'all don't want me to start singing, the students know it. Congratulations to the class of 2021. I am so incredibly proud of you. My name is Dr. Alicia Elam. I am the pharmacology instructor for the program, and I am so happy to be here today with you. Congratulations to each and every one of you. And I will say, Rachel, you were correct. I do know her as type A, but she's the best functioning type A person I've met in many, many years. She was a fantastic class president for this class. And I think that's important to have someone that can stand in for the class with the faculty, and she just did that every day. So yes, that is correct what she said in her statement. This class really has seen some unprecedented times, and really is historic for our program in that they started this class, this course, this program in person, and were pulled out of the classroom in March of 2020. So we all have experienced some changes and transitions, and I just applaud this class for, they have really stood up to that challenge on every level, and I just thank them because they made our job so much easier as faculty by doing that. I have the honor today of presenting the John Palmer Professionalism Award. And before I talk about the award, I'll ask Mr. Ben Palmer to join me, who is John Palmer's son. And this John Palmer Professionalism Award is named in honor of Dr. John Palmer, who was the first department chairman of Augusta University, or at that time, Medical College of Georgia, I'm sure, the PA program in 1972. Our program was developed in 1972 as one of the first in the nation and fully accredited in 1975. And much of the credit is due to Dr. John Palmer. So we're so happy to have Mr. Ben Palmer with us to present this award. I'll tell you a little bit about the requirements of this award. It's the John Palmer Professionalism Award, and eligibility requirements: professionalism while working in the hospitals and clinics, which includes dress attire, behavior, and mannerisms; professional acumen when dealing with faculty, staff, and patients; and exemplary representation of the physician assistant profession; excellent scholarship and academic ability with a minimum cumulative GPA of 3.5. So before I bring this person up, which I'm so happy to do, I want to tell you a little bit about their statement when they applied. As the Associate Director of Admissions, I have the honor of meeting these students before they ever get into the program, of getting to interview them, of getting to review their applications, etc. So just a little bit about this person's statement, and this wasn't even the bio. I believe this was listed under academic challenges. Ever since I was a little child, I've always asked myself, if my life was a book and I was the author of the book, where would I want the story to go? I saw myself helping people through my journey of life because I believed that unless you live for other people, there is no point in living. A wise man once said that the home of success and failure are next door to each other. If I had given up, I would never have known that success was waiting for me next door. The idea of giving up is strange to me. I would not have made it this far if I gave up or got comfortable with my current position. The obstacles and the challenges in our lives can only do two things. One, stops us dead in our tracks, or two, forces us to keep swinging. Changes and challenges forces us to figure out who we are and what we are made of. For me, success is getting to live what you daydream about. I dream that one day I get to build meaningful relationships with underserved areas and increasing the value of their health. So before I go into what preceptors have said, I want to bring up and congratulate Kendi Femi. Congratulations, Kende. His preceptors have said, a joy to work with. And we do this so we can embarrass you as well as celebrate you at the same time. A joy to work with. My patients and all caps of my office staff absolutely love Kende. He is very smart, yet very humble in all aspects. He is going to be one of the best PAs I know. All around great person. Can't wait to see what his future holds. And so with that, I would like to congratulate Kende Femi for receiving the John Palmer Professionalism Award. Thank you, Mr. Palmer. The next group of success stories I would like to honor are our Alpha Eta Society. These students have been nominated into the Alpha Eta Society, Augusta University Chapter of the Allied Health Professions National Honor Society. These students have met the requirements that they are graduate degree candidates. They are in their last year of enrollment in an allied health graduate program, have maintained an overall scholarship average of 3.8 or better on a 4.0 scale while enrolled in the program, have shown capacity for leadership and achievement, promise for the profession in their chosen allied health field, and have been recommended by members and approved by the Dean of the Allied Health Program. So I want to congratulate these students. If you would all come and stand in front of us so that we can see you in your lovely suits and dresses. The Alpha Eta Society members are Jessica Ostel, Hannah Bueller, Will DeFore, Haley Harrison Chakness. Sarah Hefcox. Katie Kane. Sarah Lapani. And Viviana Patrick. And I would like to congratulate these students on behalf of Alpha Eta Society. They will actually receive their pins and their certificates at the hooding ceremonies this afternoon at 2 o'clock p.m. But congratulations again. And next I will bring up Miss Elizabeth Prince Coleman for Service Awards and Beard Award nominee.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me? Rachel said we needed to hold it up close so those in the back, y'all can hear me okay? Great. I apologize for the echo, and I apologize this may be a little bit long, but I got some words. Congratulations to the class of 2021. For those of you who do not know me, I am Elizabeth Prince Coleman, and I am honored to serve as the Associate Program Director and Clinical Director for the PA program here at Augusta University. The vast majority of my efforts as faculty are focused on the clinical phase of the curriculum, which composes the senior year. The clinical team, myself, Ms. Cindy Watkins, and Ms. Meade Clayton, work closely with each student to identify their goals and dreams for their clinical year and their career, and we do our best to try and make some of those dreams come to fruition. Our expectations are high. We require a lot of our students. The paperwork, documentation, and deadlines in the clinical year are rivaled only by clinical practice itself, which you will all soon find out. The most important piece, your time with patients and your clinical training, is also demanding and extensive. We are here to offer our support and guidance when these students struggle, and we celebrate their success as we watch them turn those struggles into growth. We get to know these students very well. I have been on faculty now for 4.5 years. With each cohort that we have graduated, I have had the honor and opportunity to speak at this ceremony and share my accolades for the class. I often reflect on how I will remember that cohort, what will stand out about that year. In 2018, it was that they were the first class I served as clinical director. In 2019, it was the first class I saw from the day they matriculated to the day they graduated. And in 2020, that was the first class to complete training and graduate in the middle of a pandemic. As I look back on the clinical year for the class of 2021, I will echo much of what Rachel has said, and I must be honest, this has been the hardest year that I have been on faculty. The clinical curriculum has seen more obstacles and challenges than ever before. After your final didactic semester, with all virtual learning last summer, you entered the clinical phase while we were still trying to complete training for the class of 2020. We had 2 cohorts on clinicals at the same time. This has never happened before. Instead of 44 students to secure rotations for, we had over 70. And in August of 2020, when you began rotations, COVID numbers were continuing to rise. Many hospitals and practices were closing their doors to students. There were rotation cancellations, and our plans were crushed daily. Students and preceptors were also frequently missing time due to illness and need for quarantine. I am not a person who likes uncertainty. I prefer to plan well in advance. Bless Ms. Watkins for putting up with me and my continual push to get us ahead of the game. This year has been drenched with uncertainty. We and our students have had to adapt and take it one day at a time. I look back and I am humbled by just how hard this year has been for all of us. I am amazed that we were able to keep the clinical phase woven together when there were so many times that it felt like it could have unraveled. But it didn't. And I think one of the main reasons that it didn't is because we have amazing students. You dove from virtual learning into clinical training at the height of a pandemic and without complaint. Certainly, the pandemic presented the most direct influence on our training, but for many of you and for many of us, there were other mountains to climb. This year has opened our eyes to just how unsafe our world can be. But through it all, you worked hard, you kept your head up, and your goal in sight. You were flexible, you embraced each opportunity you were given, and you kept moving forward. You took this year and all that it threw at us, and you have used it to make you better students, better providers, and better people. In a world that can be so unsafe, I am thankful to have all of you as our champions this year. I wish we had an award for each and every one of you. Every student in this room has shown us greatness in the past year. As a parent, sister, and spouse myself, I can only imagine how full the hearts are in our audience today of families and friends who have come to celebrate you. My heart celebrates every achievement of my little boys, Baxter and Claude. Baxter is 6 years old and finishing first grade. He's learning to read and loving it. Our biggest obstacle this year has been behavior, and we get daily updates from his teacher. Last week, I asked him how his day was at school, and his response was, "Well, Mommy, it must have been pretty good because I didn't have to go to the principal's office." Clearly, my standards are just as high at home. Claude just turned 5 and will start kindergarten next year. And in the past few months, we have reached a milestone. I no longer have to wipe anyone's bottom but my own. And as I extrapolate my experience and my pride at these accomplishments of my little boys, and I try to imagine how your parents, your siblings, your spouses, your friends, your children, how they all feel about you today, all that you have accomplished, all that you are soon to become. I am humbled by it, and I hope my children grow into beautiful people like you. You are intelligent, you are resourceful, you are resilient, and you are going to make some fine PAs. You all have been loving and lifting up people your whole lives because that is who you are, and that is why you wanted to become a PA. This is the greatest profession, and not because of the job security, salary, flexibility, and autonomy that it comes with. This is the greatest profession because of the people who are a part of it. I feel good about the future of our profession, the future of healthcare, and the future of our world, knowing that you will soon be my colleagues and you will carry us into the future. Thank you for everything that you have done, and thank you for the good you will put into the world for many years to come. Now, before they take this microphone away from me, I would like to present the Augusta University Physician Assistant Program 2021 Service Awards. The Service Awards were created to recognize those students who have given outstanding service throughout various stages of their PA education here at Augusta University. We look for students which have been particularly helpful to fellow classmates within the program, to the faculty, and to the outside community as a whole. I am pleased to announce the 2021 Service Award recipients. If you'll please come forward and take your certificate and stand until all names are announced. Aaron Anderson. Madison Cobb. Danny Hale. Daniel Mata. Nicole McGarrell. Michaela Murphy. Tori Rodriguez. Hannah Royalty. Mary Schaup. And Rachel Zaganti. And if we could give them all one last round of applause, thank you. We do not yet know who the 2021 recipient of the John F. Beard Award will be for Augusta University. This is the highest award that is given by our institution, and it is given to a graduating senior in the health professions. Though we don't know who will receive that award from the university, we wanted to highlight the nominee that our program put forward for this award, and that ultimately the College of Allied Health Sciences moved to the final stage of that selection process. Daniel, why don't you come back up here and stand while I talk about you a little bit. sorry I don't have anything to give you today, but I wanted to talk and tell everyone how wonderful you are. So for those of you who don't know about the award, the John F. Beard Award is intended to honor the highest ideals of achievement in compassionate healthcare service to Augusta University Health, to foster and encourage habits of compassion and kindness, and to identify someone who has unselfishly given to patients, the patient's family, and demonstrated compassion in the AU Health community. This award comes with a $40,000 monetary amount, and we all hope that we see you receive that tomorrow, Daniel. So I was very honored to write a letter in support, and I'll read you some of the words from that letter today. Daniel is a very talented young man in many respects. In addition to his intelligence and aptitude for medicine, he is bilingual and a gifted vocalist and musician. He welcomes opportunities to share his talents with others, to support and promote health initiatives and education in underserved populations and communities. Daniel has been a gift to Clinica Latina and its patients, serving as an interpreter as well as a clinical student at clinics and health fairs. He sang beautifully at the body donor ceremony in 2019 to honor the great gift of those individuals and their families to medical education. He has also shared his gift of song at nursing homes and fundraiser events for clinical initiatives. Daniel worked directly with disabled patients for years before even beginning his training as a PA. He served as a caregiver for patients with Parkinson's disease, camp counselor for children with juvenile arthritis, and a CNA for a young man with cerebral palsy. He served these individuals with respect and compassion in situations that would have been challenging for many. Daniel has fed them, changed their soiled clothes, helped them toilet and clean themselves. Daniel connects with patients in a meaningful way to lift and support them and help them preserve dignity in times of need. His love of medicine and devotion to patients has not wavered while a student in our program. He has impressed our faculty as well as his clinical preceptors. He has proven an asset on many rotations, and his preceptors have told us that he goes above and beyond. He is enthusiastic, and he establishes an excellent rapport with staff as well as patients and families. Daniel still stands out among an exceptional class as an exceptional future PA. He is the type of provider we will all one day need. The one who will stay longer to answer all our questions, the one who will go out of his way to help when we are desperate, and the one who will hold our hands as we cry. He will be a blessing to his future patients and their families, and we are so thankful to have had the opportunity to participate in his training. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, y'all are almost finished with me, I promise. I would like to introduce Mrs. Pam Pilcher. Mrs. Pilcher is a pediatric nurse practitioner and continues the legacy and practice of Dr. Reggie Pilcher by providing excellent medical care for children of the CSRA. She is an amazing woman with a great heart and one of our most popular pediatric preceptors. In fact, when I was a PA student, I trained in pediatrics under Dr. and Mrs. Pilcher. And we are so fortunate for the investment she continues to make in our students. So please help me welcome Ms. Pilcher to come present our next award.
Is there any sound coming out of this? Okay. Okay, so I'll just have to lean a little bit. Hi, I'm Sarah Haddo, and I'm an associate professor emeritus, so that means I retired. It was with very mixed feelings. I loved teaching. I loved working with students. However, my timing was good. I retired almost at the end of the didactic portion for the best class ever. And Ms. Deitch was gracious enough to invite me to come present one of the awards, and I'm happy to do it. When I was on the faculty, I taught numerous courses. I was also the education director, so I was the person, if you got in trouble, you had to sit in my office. I see that I'm being very ably replaced. I used to be the person of the most words at award ceremonies. However, Elizabeth Coleman has surpassed me not only in quantity, but definitely in quality. And I'm very happy to see the younger faculty behind me doing what I did, more than filling my shoes. Now, about the class of 2021. What a wonderful group of people. It was a joy teaching you. It was a privilege. I cherish every moment that I got to spend with you, and I found it very frustrating teaching virtually and not getting to be with you physically, but it was better than nothing, that's for sure. Now, I'd like to talk about the Outstanding Physician Assistant Student Award. So this is an award that is presented every year, and the student who receives this award should meet these following criteria: outstanding excellence in coursework and technical skills. They must demonstrate professionalism while working in hospitals and on clinical rotations. They should receive excellent reviews from their clinical preceptors. And lastly, they must be an exemplary representation of the future physician assistant profession. And this year's winner easily meets and goes above these criteria. This person was an excellent student as an undergraduate, and they chose to pursue their undergraduate degree eventually at one of the most academically rigorous programs in the entire country. This individual has been a tiger, and then later they were a big red. They've built pig pens and delivered pigs to disadvantaged families in Guatemala. They've been a best buddy to individuals with developmental disabilities, and they served as a camp counselor for children with special needs. While at AU in prior pandemic, she volunteered in the free clinics to help provide care and screen those who had less access to health care. And so I'd like for Rachel Fair to once again make her way to the podium. And don't run off, because I have more words to say. You know, I never give a short talk, never. So Rachel has, as you've heard, she's been a leader inside and outside of the classroom, shouldering a great deal of responsibility as class president. This is an enormous undertaking, and sometimes a thankless undertaking. It can be lonely to be a leader. She served as the liaison between the faculty and students, and I got to witness this firsthand during the didactic year. She did this with grace and a great deal of courage. It's a bit intimidating to have to approach the faculty about certain issues. It's a bit intimidating to have to tell your classmates the news they probably didn't want to hear that we sent via Rachel. But she's been a cheerleader and a friend to so many people. We counted on her, and she did not let us down. Her class relied on her, and she did not let them down. And she did it with a lot of grace and dignity. The pandemic brought many challenges, as others have said. One of those was we were all quarantined and a bit isolated in our own dwellings. However, Rachel did continue to keep those lines of communication open between students and faculty. And with this great responsibility, she still continued to be an excellent student during the didactic portion and during the clinical year. She also kept up with her family, her longtime friends, and served as a cheerleader for her classmates. So performance during the clinical year is an important criteria of this award, and it's an important part of getting through this program successfully. And Rachel has excelled during the clinical year. Her preceptors have noted her collegiality, her concern for her patients. They noted that she had an incredibly strong work ethic and that she had a great sensitivity and awareness of where she could be of the greatest use to the patients and to the other providers. She was seen as friendly, and she had a great rapport with her patients. On her last rotation, her preceptor said she is ready to become a certified provider. Lastly, Rachel has always been an advocate for those who have not been heard or had a voice, and a person who's not afraid to speak up for what is right. She understands that practicing medicine is more than collecting information or data. It's more than making a diagnosis. To use a quote from Maya Angelou that Rachel used in her application to the PA program, people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Rachel has demonstrated over the past 2 years that she understands the many aspects of caring for the whole person. She has bravely and fully met the challenges of this program and is most deserving of the 2021 Outstanding Physician Assistant Student Award. Congratulations. And I believe at this time that Dr. Judith Stallings will come forward to present the Chairman's Award.
Again, good morning. Can you hear me in the back? Great, great. As you see, we care about our students very much, and we're very protective too. I would say last year we were accessible 24/7 as things were occurring with our students due to COVID. So we do care about you, and we're very protective. At this time, I feel as I am a mother eagle about to push the eaglets out of the nest to go out into the community and be great things. But we do care about our students, and we care about our graduates. So I'm going to present 2 awards to you. And the first one is actually the Chairman's Award. I don't see Dr. Dadick here, but she was actually the chairman and program director for Augusta University for 31 She was program director and chair combined for 31 years, and then she was on service for 3 more years for a total of 34 years as chairman of the physician assistant program. So she had a long tenure here. She retired in December of 2018, and she had the real true knack or insight into looking to others and finding potential, sometimes potential that others did not recognize and could not see. I think she saw potential in all of us who are here as faculty. We were students except for Dr. Elam. But she just has that knack, and she also has the skill of picking great staff, like Ms. Pascal, and also Ms. Watkins. So this award is an honor to Dr. Dada for her long-time tenure. And we'd like to recognize someone at this time who has a lot of potential. It's a female student, and as I start to say certain characteristics about this student, would you please come up before I even say your name? So the class and the faculty know this student as being very quiet, very professional, always carrying a smile, works well with others. This student was also a nurse's aide, and she was also accepted at Mercer's Medical School. And I think she knows who she is. Brittany, I was waiting for you to stand up. See, she's shy. Brittany Turner. See, she's very quiet, but she has a lot of potential, and I'm going to talk about her. Okay, as I gave you the introduction of Dr. Dada's award, the Chairman's Award, Dr. Dada has the knack of seeing potential in others. I'm going to read a letter from a preceptor who also saw a lot of potential in her. And he writes that, I have known Brittany Turner in a professional capacity for well over a year. We work together in a supervisory type role, but mostly in a shadowing role in the immersive room setting in the most recent past. Ms. Turner came to me after an acceptance to medical school. She had a decision to make, and she chose physician assistant field instead. I must say that Ms. Turner had decided that that direction was where her heart was, and seemed to convince me of the same every day. I'm not sure that in my 19 years of practice and the vast amount of students that I have ever precepted or allowed them to shadow me, that any of them have shown the qualities and compassion that Ms. Turner does. She comes in daily excited, as she did into the PA program, and ready to learn new things. She shows willingness and desire to progress and to excel. She engages with the patients, both ill and injured, with sincere compassion and warmth, not often seen at the stage of becoming a physician assistant. She also demonstrates a trait that will help her progression as a PA, and she goes home daily and explores different disease processes that she saw while working with me, further to explain an already vast knowledge base. I can truly say that I think extremely highly of Ms. Turner and believe whatever school she may attend, that she will certainly be an asset and a foreseen leader to her future peers. I also believe wholeheartedly that Ms. Turner's future as a physician assistant will be fantastic. And truly look forward to the day I can address her as a colleague. Again, let's recognize Ms. Brittany Turner for the 2021 Chairman's Award. Okay, the next award is the Programs Director Award of Excellence. This award was created in 2018 and is very deserving of a candidate for some aspect of excellency. mainly circling and centering around achievement of excellency. This year's Award of Excellence is based on a student's diligence, persistence, and a desire to bring hope. That's what she talked about in her essay. This year's recipient of the Programs Director Award is Miss Callie Wilkes. Would you please come forward? Callie also came in the department every day with a smile. She sees a smile on her mask. You can tell her smile, even with the eyes. You can tell her eyes are smiling. So I'll read from her essay about Callie. And in her essay, it demonstrates or shows her diligence, her persistence, and her desire to look for hope and to bring hope. So in her essay, she says, she has these words in quote. Her essay is written and it says, work hard, stay humble, be kind. Work hard, stay humble, be kind. This expression is displayed on a plaque in my room and is one of the first things I see when I wake up each morning. I'm a firm believer that how an individual reacts to challenges and successes they face indicates the core of their character. I have been faced with my fair share of challenges, some that I recognize immediately and others that I recognize only after I had overcome them. Having a mindset that you can work hard to get through the challenges, be humble when you are successful, and to be kind no matter the situation has helped me immensely with whatever life threw at me. I was raised in a rural area that had below average education systems. I was not aware that being raised in a rural area would put me at such a disadvantage. I graduated valedictorian of my class, high school class, 170 students, and I was under the impression that I was fairly intelligent. This belief was definitely challenged when I arrived at Mercer University and was suddenly one of hundreds of other valedictorians. My first year at Mercer was a year of adjustment and realization. I had to adjust to the difficult coursework and learn how to impress professors who did not already know my entire life story. I was now recognized as an individual. It was difficult yet exciting to have to work so hard for my grades and knowledge. In my courses materials, some of the peers considered review came to me as new information because I had not been as prepared for college during my high school years as others. That shows her persistence. I excluded myself from many social encounters in order to get my schoolwork accomplished. I knew that the hard work she focused on, would pay off when I was able to say I had been accepted into the physician assistant school. In some ways, I feel as if my disadvantage has led me to appreciate the great education I'm receiving now just a little bit more than perhaps some of my peers do. The stay humble and be kind portion of my life actually comprises a much larger fraction than do my challenges. I believe that practicing to be a successful medical professional and returning these skills to areas like my hometown will bring hope. Again, let's recognize this year's Program Director Award of Excellence goes to Ms. Callie Wilkes. Congratulations.
At
At this time, I'd like to recognize Miss April Pascal. She's going to recognize the Wendy Klein Pascal Service from the Heart Physician Assistant Scholarship.
Good morning. Most of the students here will know me. I am the Department Manager Coordinator for the Physician Assistant Department. I've served in that role since 2014, but I've been in the PA department since 2012 when I started as our grant coordinator. This scholarship was created in memory of my mother, Wendy Klein Pascal. Wendy served as our department manager from 2005 through January 2014, when she lost her 26-month-long battle with breast cancer that had moved to her lungs. She touched the lives of everyone that she came in contact with. Wendy spoke to each PA class that came through our doors and re-emphasized the importance of viewing a patient as a fellow human and not a dollar sign, to treat them with the dignity and respect that everyone deserves, and to provide them with compassion and care from the heart. The scholarship was created in her memory by her family, her husband, who's my dad, Jimmy Pascal, who joins me on stage, and her daughters, April, myself, and my sister, Samantha Pascal. It was also created in conjunction with the physician assistant faculty, staff, students, and alumni. Nominating essays and supplemental letters were submitted and reviewed by myself, my dad, and my sister. This year, we are awarding one scholarship for $1,000 to the very deserving physician assistant student selected for this honor. And we would like you to come ahead and join us on stage, Mr. Daniel Fernando Mata. I'm going to share a few things that Daniel wrote. Daniel was born in Caracas, Venezuela, and spent his childhood living in a small apartment in the city along with his triplet siblings and parents. His mother worked 3 different jobs in education and healthcare, while their father worked at their school as a health teacher. Even though his father tried to shield them as much as possible from the repressive side of the country, the penury that surrounded them was evident. They grew up overlooking a mountain dotted with numerous shanty towns, homeless people scavenging for food in the streets, and rampant displays of violence and protests. Compassion was a concept that they were exposed to very early on in his childhood in Venezuela. His mother benevolently helped those who were in great need, most notably their babysitter, Miriam, who lived in the slums. His mom would allow her to stay in their apartment throughout the week to save her the trips on the bus, would buy clothes for her and her family, and would make certain she had enough food to bring back to her community in the shanty towns. These examples established a foundation of compassion and altruism that were central to the way Daniel would later approach people and future patients. Given the rapid deterioration of the country and the increasing insecurity, Daniel's mother took the initiative to have them immigrate to the U.S. when they were 8 years old. Growing up, Daniel was told by adult influences that ultimately he had to choose between his 2 greatest passions, singing and medicine. However, as Daniel sought out exposure to patient care, he realized how the interplay of the 2 created some of the most curative moments for not only himself, but also his patients. Daniel can't see himself doing this any other way than through becoming the singing PA that he was always meant to be. And congratulations, Daniel. We selected you as this year's Wendy Klein Pascal Service from the Heart $1,000 scholarship. That's for you, Daniel.
All right, well, welcome. My name, can you guys hear me okay? It definitely echoes up here. My name is Rachel Fink. I'm an assistant professor with the PA program, and I've been on faculty now since 2018. I graduated from this program in 2012, and I can't say enough good things about this PA program. I'd like to ditto what everybody has already said about this class. I am so impressed with each and every one of you. I'm very proud of you, and I look forward to working with you as a colleague very soon. And hopefully you guys can stop calling me Miss Fink, because I'm kind of over that at this point. That was one thing I had to get used to being on faculty, was being called Miss Fink by everybody. So I will be presenting the Phi Alpha Award, and I remember receiving this award as a student myself, so it's a very special award. This is a National Physician Assistant Honor Society. Our Augusta University chapter was named to honor James Michael Lee, who was a physician assistant who contributed to the AU PA program since 1981. He served as clinical faculty. He was a lecturer, a small group leader, a preceptor, and an academic committee member for our program. Sadly, he is no longer with us. However, it is through his generous donations that the department is able to induct students into the chapter each year. The faculty have chose 6 outstanding physician assistant graduates, which, by the way, is not easy to do because these are all outstanding graduates. But we have chose 6. These individuals have not only met GPA requirements of academic excellence, but also exemplify a high standard of character and conduct, and serve the faculty, classmates, and community by volunteering and mission work. All of those inducted today will receive a certificate, an honor cord, and a pin. And so, as I call your name, I'd like you to please come forward. Claire Branch. Ashley Davis. Hannah Graycheck. Colleen Lavelle. Amber Pratt. And Griffin Strom. Congratulations to all of you.
Well, here we are again at the end of another honors ceremony. They go so fast every year. The years fly by. This has been an incredible class. Our students are so deserving of the awards that they've received. We're going to miss them. This has really been an awesome class. So at this moment, I'd like to mention our staff who we rely on to keep our program running. We could not make this program work without the help of April Pascal, who's behind me, Cindy Watkins for our clinical year, and our newest member, Mia Bonner Forbes, and she's here as well. So thank y'all so much. We couldn't do it. Faculty work harder, but I think staff work harder than we do. Many times they have a gigantic task. Well, on behalf of the faculty and staff, we want to say that we have thoroughly enjoyed your class these past 27 months, well, almost 27 months. We know that you will go on to do great things, both personally and professionally. We don't want you to be a stranger. We want you to stay in touch with the department, like Dr. Stallings mentioned. You know, maybe you want to come back and help us do interviews. Those are always fun. It's fun to be on our side of it. Maybe not so much fun to be on the other side of it. But we'd love to have you come back and help us interview potential new candidates. Maybe consider coming back and lecture in whatever field or specialty that you end up in. We want you to stay involved with us, and who knows, one of these days, maybe you might consider joining us on faculty and teaching the next generation of students. Everyone except for one, I believe, on our faculty graduated from our program. It really is a homegrown faculty, and we like it that way. So we look forward to maybe one of you considering education after you've been out and in practice for a while. So let me conclude with words from the poet Patrick Overton. When you walk to the edge of all the light that you have, and you've taken that first step into darkness of the unknown, you must believe that one of two things will happen. There will either be something for you solid to stand on, or you will be taught how to fly. I hope that we as a faculty at the Physician Assistant Program at Augusta University and your colleagues in the class of 2021 have given you that something solid that you can stand on. And now, as you step forth today, may each of you fly. Thank you, and our warmest congratulations to each of you, the Augusta University Physician Assistant Class of 2021. We applaud you. There will be a service that starts in the sanctuary at 11:30. You're welcome to stay and take pictures, but I just do want to let you know that at 11:30 there will be people coming in. So thank you so much for coming this morning, and pudding at 2 o'clock.